Good afternoon, everybody. This is In the Matrix for the Matrixxx Groove Hour, and here we go. We've got a lot of booms happening today with our Q post. We got some Q proofs. We've got Julian Assange. We've got some amazing stuff going on today, and it is 1:02 on the East Coast time. It is April 11th, 2019, and I just want to say really quick, congratulations to Eric Trump and Laura Trump on the great news. So proud, and that's from our president. And God bless them. So with that, I want to bring on my partner in justice at Shady Grooove with 3 O's on Twitter. Shady, welcome.
Hey, Matrixxx. Hello, Patriots. How you doing today, man? We've got some really amazing stuff going on out there. These guys just keep winning. It's like we come on every day, Matrixxx, and they win some more.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to show, there's somebody out here, Jackie says that she's nervous for JA. We're going to dig a little bit into that together. And we're going to show you how to dig a little bit into this, and let's see what happens. Q has really dropped a lot on Julian Assange, and we're going to kind of go through some of that stuff. But first, let's go to our oh, I just pulled a Shady. Da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da. All right, we're going to go to our Windows capture, and let's watch Julian Assange being released. Here we go. So they're pulling Julian out. Resist. You can resist. UK must resist. So that's Julian Assange being removed from the embassy, and they're gonna kind of focus in on Julian in there. See if they get that picture. Oh, well, the picture actually shows Julian with the thumbs up. I thought it was actually in this video. But, you know, we've got to remember, too, was it 2 weeks ago there was a DOJ plane that went over to the UK? There's some stuff happening. I want to just, you know, Q post 1968. Somebody asks, so Q, so what's up with Assange? And Q responds, do you remember that our enemies are also monitoring this board? See above, reflect, and use logic. Q. Shady, do you have any comments so far of what we just saw?
Well, it was very interesting to see that this morning. He was carrying the Gore Vidal book. I also I wanted to maybe talk about that in a second, but we could make a reference back to Q Post 14. Let's see, what was it? 1462 was one of them, but it was dropped on 419, and this post was talking directly about Julian Assange. And I just want all the Anons out there to know that this gentleman is a very large part of what you're working on and has the information of what you're working on. So moving him here, I think, is a good thing. But this drop was on 4/19/2018, where it was actually 11/95. Seth Rich connect to DNC, MS-13, Julian Assange, JA. Why did the Dems push legal representative on the family? June ETA Q. That was on the 19th of April last year. So this is interesting, and we go back and we look, and this is a little bit how we look.
Real quick, what's SR? What's SR?
Seth Rich.
Right. So his connection to the DNC, right? And MS-13, which is obviously I think is the muscle for the the rhinos and the Dems, right? And then Julian Assange. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interview you, but then interrupt you. But then what recent news came out regarding SR, Seth Rich, JA, Julian Assange, WikiLeaks lawsuit, back in the news? The server brings down the house as well. Remember, we have the FISA brings down the house. Now we have the server brings down the house. And the Anon asks Q, is this man free? Is he safe? If he isn't, can you help him? He is a hero. And that's the gift with the Julian Assange smile. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to quickly just bring it down because, you know, we might have some new eyes to Q here.
No, I agree with that. I appreciate that, and that is exactly what I was wanting to point to. Is just so we can just give a little bit of reinforcement out there to understand that this gentleman is crucial in what happened. Remember the tapes that came out that led people into the Pizzagate stuff that showed you some of the behind the scenes emails that they keep claiming the Russians hacked from the DNC. Those were not hacked. Okay, those were given to WikiLeaks or Julian Assange by Seth Rich on a thumb drive, and he was murdered for it. So
That's right.
that's part of what we are dark to light right here with Mr. Assange.
That's right. And let's look at Q posts. Let's look at Q posts with Assange in here, right? So Q post 770 goes, and I'll drop the link. This link goes to intheMatrixx with 3x's.com/Q posts, but actually will pull up all the Assange queries for you, so you don't have to screen grab them if you want to read along. But this is what we're looking at. Q post 770 anonymous says, James Dolan, dead, suicide. Aaron Schwartz, dead, suicide. Kevin Paulson, turned over secure drop to freedom of the press. Secure drop, freedom of the press. Freedom of the press, John Barlow, Snowden, Assange, John Cusack, Daniel Ellisberg, Glenn Greenwald, Laura Poitras. Snowden, Cusack, things that can't and cannot be said. Daniel Essingberg, Pentagon Papers. Glenn Greenwald, Snowden, and The Guardian. Laura Poitras, Snowden, The Program. William Binney. John Barlow, VP Algae Systems Treating Wastewater. Barlow Clark, Burning Man. Jen Clark with anti-Trump. Westpac supports Clinton. I think the key is the media changing the narrative using secure drop, which is dictated heavily by Snowden. The big question is who controls Snowden. And James Dolan, dead, suicide, Q says. Aaron Schwartz, dead, suicide. Kevin Paulson, turned over, secured up, freedom of the press. John Perry Barlow, 187, post name drop at Snowden. You are now a liability. Q. So a lot of people in the mainstream media think Snowden is the hero and Assange is not. And I wanted to point that out too, because everybody's like, well, I believe in a fair justice and he's guilty. He sold secrets. No. We've learned a lot, totally different stuff than what you're being told to in the mainstream media. And that's why we're here. And again, 1842 says these people are stupid. And it goes to the Cohen Milstein process server.com. Never interfere with an enemy while he's in the process of destroying himself. Discovery, Assange testimony in the Russia probe. Do you believe in coincidence? We have the source. So this is all Q posts in regards to Assange, at least words spelled out. There's other ones that have JA, and we'll go into some of those in a minute. But Q post 1968, we just kind of read that one through you. So do you remember that our enemies are also monitoring this board? See above, reflect, use logic, Q. Then we've got 2322 10318, and it says page 20, Assange arrest by Marty Tory, the Mad Hatter, Q. So let's go look at that. And these are the virtual reading rooms for the Department of State. And it goes to Marty Tory. Let me just find which one is Marty Tory. Maggie Williams. I'm just trying to find the right one. I think it's on page 17. I'm sorry, hang on. Let's go there. Oh, no. Virtual reading room. I just screwed it up. Anyways, it was in regards to page 20. Let me go to there. Marty Tory. Let me go to page 20 and jump. All right, so am I there? Yeah, there it is. Marty Tory. Assange, arrest, etc. So let's go ahead and read this. I think it's pretty interesting. And this is Marty Tory to Hillary regarding the Assange arrest, etc. H, been waiting to hear the great news. He must have made your life miserable. Simply a bad guy. So tired of people who try to damage the U.S., while the U.S. does so much for others. Where's the justice and common sense these days? Hope all the current world madness somehow gives you time to prepare for Christmas and enjoy the simple things. Took blank, the daughter, to pick out Christmas trees last weekend. If there is better stuff than that, I don't know what is. Anyways, hope the WikiLeaker gets what's coming to him. Happy Christmas, Preps M.
Maybe I'd maybe like to throw in here to understand what you just witnessed with Mr. Assange being removed from the embassy, and take a step back to the past administration and what they were doing, trying to get him out of this embassy. And I find it extremely interesting that the deep state, with all of the bells and whistles that came with their operations, were not able to remove Mr. Assange from that embassy. But however, today we were able to go in and remove him from the embassy. And I think that this is a cooperating reality, a show, if you will. The Matrixxx, real fast, the one article that was in that drop was WikiLeaks says Senate panel requested Assange testimony for the Russia probe. And this was, I dropped that in there just a second ago, but this was from August of last year. And I want to read just the top paragraph. WikiLeaks claiming the Senate Intelligence Committee has asked its founder, Julian Assange, to testify as part of the panel's investigation into the Russian interference in the 2016 election. Organization posted a letter on its Twitter account dated August 1 that purports to come from the committee leaders, Senator Burr and Mr. Warner, requesting that he make himself available for a closed-door interview with bipartisan committee staff at a mutually agreeable time and location. So that was from August of last year. This was an article that came out regarding this, but we saw drone intervention. We saw Hillary say, get him out of there. We saw all of these other attacks from the Bush administration towards what Mr. Assange was doing. What Mr. Assange was doing was he was showing how operations in Iraq were not what we were being told, and how we were maiming and devastating areas and people that were not violent and or threats and were not targets. Those things were happening, and Julian Assange was putting that out, leaking that information through the WikiLeaks cables. And so I feel like Matrixxx, and I'm hoping that everything is going according to plan, obviously, but this looks to me like the beginning of bringing him here to testify. And much like with the deep state, people that are out there, if you help, they work with you. So if he helps, they're working with him. I think that this is a good thing for Q, and I think it's a good thing for us.
Right, and let's take a look at JA post 2, Shady. There's 17 results. This is Q posts, intheMatrixxx.com/Q posts. Here's the actual search for you guys in YouTube if you guys want to check them out yourself. Back in 1212, Q had a Q&A, right? And somebody asked, is JA stateside? And Q said, no, Q. And then we're looking back at the Vault CIA hacking tools received, track last JA offline cause, Q, and that was on March 7th. Remember when they took Julian Assange's internet away for a long time? This is all in relation. Here's Q1628 bringing Comey in, right? SR connected to DNC, the one that Shady just read to you. MS13, JA, why did the D's push legal rep on family, June ETA? Well, last June, this is by John Solomon, how Comey intervened to kill WikiLeaks immunity deal. Okay, they're trying to free JA, but is that a coincidence? JA a lot in the news lately, out of nowhere, crisis mode. Here's the article that the Q proof that somebody has here. The effort resulted in the drafting of a limited immunity deal that might have temporarily freed the WikiLeaks founder from the London embassy, where he has been exiled for years, according to the interview and trove of international DOJ documents turned over to the Senate investigators. Read the draft immunity deal that the DOJ was considering for Assange here. But an unexpected intervention by Comey, relayed through Warner, sourced with negotiations, multiple sources tell me. So, these deep staters are really afraid of Julian Assange, and that brings us to this post right here, the 1708, and we're talking about let's take a look at, let me just see if I can find the right, actually trying to find the right video here. There was a Julian Assange on Seth Rich. Let me bring it over. Here we go.
A miracle. In the American political lexicon, there's such a thing as the October surprise. The stuff that you're sitting on, is an October surprise in there? Do you even know what you're sitting on?
WikiLeaks never sits on material. Whistleblowers go to significant efforts to get us material, and often very significant risks. There's a 27-year-old works for the DNC who was shot in the back, murdered just 2 weeks ago for unknown reasons as he was walking down the street in Washington. So
that was just a robbery, I believe, wasn't it?
no, there's no finding. So
what are you suggesting? What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that our sources take risks, and they become concerned to see things occurring like that.
But was he one of your sources then? I mean,
we don't comment on who our sources are.
But why make the suggestion about a young guy being shot in the streets of Washington?
Because we have to understand how high the stakes are in the United States, and that our sources are, our sources face serious risks. That's why they come to us, so we can protect their anonymity.
But it's quite something to suggest a murder. That's basically what you're doing.
Well, that others have suggested that. We are investigating to understand what happened in that situation with Seth Rich. I think it is a concerning situation. There's not a conclusion yet. We wouldn't be willing to state a conclusion, but we are concerned about it. And more importantly, a variety of WikiLeaks sources are concerned when that kind of thing happens.
What do you think about that, guys?
I mean, there's some future proofs past for you.
Right. So 1708, it says Q basically puts another post from July 25th, 18. It says, when did No Name, which is John McCain, I hate saying that, but travel to the UK, Q. And basically, Q said, what if the UK government worked hand in hand with the Hussein administration to sabotage the 2016 election? Data collection, voice, video, bugging, creation of fake intel dossier using ex-spy, co-sponsor insurance policy regarding POTUS election, PS, LP, No Name, which is Clapper. So PS is, who's that again?
Peter Strzok.
Yeah, Peter Strzok, thank you. Lisa Page, No Name, Clapper, Brennan, Rice, Loretta Lynch, Hillary Rodham Clinton. BC is
Clinton.
Bill Clinton. Dang it, Shady. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Bill and Hussein, plus 22. What if Intel masked penetrations to frame Russia? CrowdStrike, servers, Seth Rich, Julian Assange. Why does the UK government desperately want JA? Think source files. The more you know. Q. So going over a lot of these, here's the Democratic senators who demand today that Julian Assange asylum be revoked from a Q post 6/28/18. And you've got Robert Mendez, Richard Blumenthal. Here, I'll make it bigger for you. Richard Blumenthal, Michael F. Bennett, John Manchin III, Dianne Feinstein, Mark Warner, Gene Shaheen, Christopher A. Coons, Edward Markey, and Richard Durbin. Dick Durbin, I like to call him.
Dick Durbin, yeah.
So somebody said, okay. And then Q says, server or JA equals truth exposed, Seth Rich. D's are in crisis mode. Awan is bigger than you can imagine. Putin, you won, will come out post-summit. They will try to apply artificial MSM heat to cancel. These people are corrupt beyond belief. America for sale. Sold out. Q. And here's another one here that's talking about JA. This is Q post. I'm going to go to 1461. Right here, we've got a picture from Donald Trump that said the summit meeting on the 12th. And POTUS will be well insulated and protected on Air Force One and abroad. Specific locations classified. While these operations are conducted, due to the nature of entrenchment, it is time to take back our country. And then this is that means that POTUS will be in the air protected during this time. Q stated in 11/117 post. So this is kind of a cool little graphic to look at, but really want to focus on this. Past statement was directed at confirmation statements, not assumption. Plus JA Julian Assange throw in. These are to spread discredit. Knowing will not materialize. Good decoding. Technically, U.S. 11th equals Sing 12th, correct? What else might 23 refer to? Dash versus minus, military. Q. And then this is the one that Shady just went over. Here's more why no contact with. So this is all in connection with Mueller, U1, the enemy, the old White House, the old guard. This is a witch hunt. They don't want Julian Assange talking, but I do.
I really do too. I really want Julian Assange to talk, and this for everybody out there, just to see how important he is. This is imperative to the whole thing. So we are with Mr. Assange. We do support him. We do think he is coming to testify against the deep state. This is real, guys. This is actually happening. We are watching it happen. So also the book that he had, Matrixxx, I don't know if you were going to talk about that for a second.
Go for it.
But he had the book. I'll drop the link here of that was called The History of the National Security State, Gore Vidal book that he had. And that's interesting little tidbit here. I just put the article in there for you guys, but just to read for a second. Gore Vidal's History of the National Security State was in Julian Assange's hands as he was arrested at the Ecuadorian embassy. 47, Assange had been in exile in the embassy since August of 2012. Remember that day, August 2012. Founder of WikiLeaks had his asylum status withdrawn by the Ecuadorian government, which led to his arrest. Assange will be extradited to the United States. Assange is accused by the Department of Justice of conspiracy to commit computer intrusion for agreeing to break a password to a classified U.S. government computer. Assange's legal team has promised to fight the extradition. As Assange was removed from the embassy, a copy of Vidal's 2014 book could be seen in Assange's hands. Book is transcribed conversations that Paul Jay, the editor of the Real News Network, those conversations occurred in 2007. Vidal passed away in July of 2012 at the age of 86. Coincidentally, Assange took up residence in the Ecuadorian embassy in August of 2012. So Mr. Vidal passed away in July of 2012. Assange was exiled to the embassy in August of 2012. This is the book that he was carrying, and this book is referencing to the Federalist Papers. Federalist Papers are very clear whenever one of the founding fathers and one of the people who are inventing the Constitution, they start to get apoplectic to the mention of Athens, the mention of Perses, and the mention of democracy. They go on and on about mobs, and we don't want this. We don't want that. We're an oligarchy of well-to-do. We were at the very beginning when the Constitution was made, and we are even more so now. So this is interesting, making for him having this book, and what this book actually talks about in the context of the deep state and what the imperial presidency. During the conversations, Vidal discusses the events of U.S. history believes led to what he calls the imperial presidency.
Read the last paragraph. I was born 80 years ago in a country called the United States of America, and now I live in a homeland, an expression we haven't heard since Hitler.
Correct. And that started to come out. We did not use the word homeland prior to the 9/11 event. There was nothing homeland here.
Right.
That is a complete new word that has been implemented on our society. Homeland security did not exist prior to 2001.
Yep, and here's something about Gore Vidal here. These are the FBI files on him, and they had a FOIA release for February 2013. So this is very interesting too. I haven't gone over it, but the FBI had a whole file on him as well. So very interesting that he had that book. It was probably a gift to him. I don't know, but very interesting connection, Shady. Good job. Good job.
Yeah, it really is. We have to look at these little clues, guys. We're not looking at the mainstream news or listening to the mainstream news tell us things. Yes, we saw him being brought out of the embassy, but we also got the hand signal. He had a hand signal that he gave, and that indicated that the victory signal, I think it was. And so then he was also holding this book, and he's coming to America. I think that is great because we have a system that can be fair with him. The system overseas and in Europe where they were trying to ensnare him, I think it was Sweden, that would have been a very unfair situation he was going into. So this gentleman can provide lots of sauce on the deep state for the last 20 years.
Absolutely, man. Good job. That was very, very, very well done. So Very interesting stuff. So if you look at all of these Q posts, they're all tied together, you know, and the fight is so much more. I mean, JA posted this video earlier today. It's JB at the CFR event. This is the Julian Assange CFR. What a coincidence. The site can't be reached. The tweet is gone, looks like. So he's also the chess man. I mean, so he's been the chess. So this is JA's chess board, right? So this was a really cool one. ChessFag says JA's chess board is a famous game with a deadly move that was thwarted by the world champ in 1918. This comes on the day Trump zero tweet marker. Next move on JA's chessboard. Are you ready for this? Q F3, queen to F3, Q Fox 3, and then Q says impressive anon. So if you don't recall, this is Julian Assange was tweeting out chessboards, and the anons picked up on it too, because it could have been a way of speaking to you and I and anons. Very impressive.
So what was the post with the video that we just played, Matrixxx? Someone was just asking.
With JA's video, this one.
Yeah, which post number was that in?
Which video? The one of him being released, or the one that I just showed you guys?
Yeah, the one that you just showed us with WikiLeaks. I was just curious if what post number that was.
It wasn't in a post number.
Okay, gotcha. All right, roger that. Sorry.
It's just showing you the connection that Q said MS-13 Democrats, and so did Julian Assange. I was just trying to make those connections.
Gotcha. Okay, copy that. Okay,
right.
Someone was asking. I just wanted to make sure.
So if you look at this too, I want to just quickly, we've got some more amazing stuff. Let's look at basically SEALs, right? We've got some indictments coming out. SEALs are broken, guys.
SEALs are wonderful creatures.
So I want to read Q Post 988 to show you kind of what we might be in store for today, or this is April 2nd, okay, of last year. So here we are in April in Killbox A. IG report. Sessions public attack. RR problems. SEALs broken. Okay, so let's take a look at my Twitter account. Here is former Obama White House counsel to be indicted report. And this is the kicker. Lawyers for Obama, get off. Lawyers for Obama White House counsel Greg Craig say they expect him to be charged with foreign lobbying violations as per Mueller probe.
Winning.
Oh my God! Dramatic effect. You can't make this stuff up, guys.
We've added a sound effects board.
You got it? Yeah, I'm doing a good job for you guys. Bill, shush! I'm on the air. I'm sorry, Matrixxx. All right, so gosh, Sessions public attack. Our problem. SEALs broken. Arrests. Why was Huber made public? Why now? Everything has meaning. Iran, Tarmac, Iran, North Korea, U1, FBI, DOJ, Mueller, election integrity, immigration bill, border, wall, military start. Big month, people. And SEALs, Q Post 902, where there was once darkness, there is now light. Sea to shining sea, Godspeed. And then 713 on 210:18, SEALs are wonderful creatures. Heard they work fast at capturing their prey. Silence is golden. Corona offline. Games are fun. And so very interesting stuff, guys.
And I want to tie this into Uranium One. You just mentioned, notice, guys, the post that he was reading there, the post that he read earlier, talking about Uranium One. Well, what have we watched the last week and a half? Well, look what has happened. This whole Joe Biden thing, with everything that's in the news, like, okay, all of a sudden the media is recognizing that this is creepy Joe Biden. Well, after ignoring this stuff for quite some time and pretending it doesn't exist, notice that 44 did not come out for his defense or to say, oh, he was his best friend getting little bracelets and stuff before. Remember that. Now what you're seeing is A, Joe Biden has not announced a presidential campaign. B, Uranium One is catching up with Biden's son and also catching up with John Kerry's son-in-law. Those two, Biden's son and John Kerry's son-in-law, are both on the board in Ukraine, in the largest Ukrainian gas company over there. And they were precariously placed there after we interrupted a duly elected administration and inserted a puppet government. And then all of a sudden, these guys were there. And then we have tape of Joe Biden saying how we told him that if you didn't get rid of the prosecutor that was trying to prosecute us, that you weren't going to get the $1 billion, and puts his glasses on, like walking away, like you got 6 hours and all this. The guy stood there on a stage and admitted that there's video of it. So all of this stuff, Uranium One, Julian Assange, Seth Rich, Mueller, all of it coming together. If you're paying attention, you can see all of these fronts moving every day, guys.
And the IIIMEF Marines breaking the seal with Camp Henson Marines. Break the seal. Wow, when the seals break, guys, that's exactly what we got. So seals are broken. Breaking the seals means arrests, okay, guys? Amazing stuff. So I'm sure that was a coincidence that this Marine group put breaking the seals there. I'm sure. What do you think?
Yeah, total coincidence.
Total coincidence. Very interesting.
Absolutely.
Breaking
it has nothing to do with deep state takedown, Matrixx.
It has everything to do with deep state takedown. Right? And so this is some very interesting stuff. I want to go back down here because I've got a lot to go over. Let's go over the Q post real quick from yesterday. This is the Q alert from 4:10. This will be my thread for Thursday, April 10th. Panic and more. Let's go. And there they are. Help! Q's posting. Because just the day before, or that day, Scott Adams says, and Posobiec and Ginger McQueen said Q is dead. So I beg to differ.
They reported that?
Yeah, I'll show you that if you want me to.
No, I was being facetious, but it's just funny that they're reporters.
This is our first live Q post on intheMatrixx.com/Q posts. Look at this, guys. It worked. Yeah. Way to
winning.
Go.
Headmaster Q.
You know, so this is Q post 3311. It links to an article about the DOJ watchdog FBI informant in the Russia probe, and Q says, panic. Barr testifies spying did occur on Trump campaign amid reported review of informant's role. Gee, you think? So
do you think?
There's the article right there. Let's take a look. I'm probably gonna get a commercial, so I'll mute that.
That's all right. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Celebrate Trump
now authorized.
at Sunrise Ford.
Where's that coming from? Look at that.
It is the Russia hoax. The illicit scheme.
I don't even know where that's coming from.
Donald Trump, Greg Jarrett,
Visit our
and
online
investigative
show
reporter, Fox
24/7
News contributor
at
Sarah Carter. Let's start with
sunrise-ford.com.
you. The legal aspects of this is
That was
as
weird,
clear
guys.
what has happened. It's really a small group of people.
It is.
But what they did.
I'm gonna try to get to the bar stuff. Hang on.
There was never evidence and
The top.
I thought they were going to get the bar stuff. We'll watch that later though, guys, but I think I have it on my Twitter too. But interesting stuff, guys. And again, just as my Patriots, I'm so excited to use the Q post feature right here, and we scan for posts every 17 seconds.
Well, did you notice yesterday we had Holder? I couldn't resist going to tweet to this guy. He made a tweet yesterday that said that we shouldn't that spying and investigating are different things.
Absolutely. Here, I think
okay, bud.
I think I've got the video here. Here we go.
Apparently, when Senator Feinstein had
Talking
a
about the
person on her
spy.
staff that was supposedly connected to the Chinese government, she was briefed. Is that the normal way you do things with a counterintelligence investigation?
I think
Well, she was briefed about a staff member that they thought might be connected to the Chinese government, and she took action and fired the guy. Is that sort of what you're supposed to be doing?
that's what I would, if I were Attorney General and that situation came up, I would say, yes, brief the target of the foreign espionage activity.
Okay. So you're pledging to this committee, and I guess to the country as a whole, is to find out what happened with the warrant application, find out about the counterintelligence investigation, to make sure that the law was.
So basically, want to go to the QPost site too, because we've got Feinstein in the kill box.
You see the panic on her face?
Yeah, and I'm going to go back to that real quick too. Maybe I spelled her name right. Okay, Feinstein, decades ago, wise poet is pushing for term limits. Time equals corruption. She's been a rep since 1992. This is hilarious. This is Right here. Look at this. Feinstein, Q. This is where? Where is this picture taken from?
China.
So did the Anons know? Did we
And
know about Q and, Feinstein and her ties? We sure did. All right, so Q number 297. Where is this picture taken? Hanging out the flags. Traditional occurs in this part of the country. For what holiday? Western intelligence contacts that the device was made at the Super Micro subcontractor factory in Guangzhou, a port city in southeastern China. Guangzhou is 90 miles upstream from Shenzhen, dubbed the Silicon Valley of hardware. What state does Feinstein in the kill box represent? All right, Dragonfly, look here. Russia, do not look here. China. And this is 43 minutes of your time, well worth this video here. All inside roads to China are being closed. America is no longer for sale. And then this is Feinstein's threat to Murokowski. If you remember this, evil be gone. Look at this lady. A picture repost. A picture's worth 1,000 words. See the evil in the face of Feinstein. The fear and emotion in the face of Murawski. A phone was present. Feinstein, threat to Murawski, evil be gone. There it is again. So let's just go back here and pick up where we left off.
Public, is that accurate?
Yes, brief the target of the foreign espionage activity.
Okay. So you're pledging to this committee, and I guess to the country as a whole, is to find out what happened with the warrant application, find out about the counterintelligence investigation, to make sure that the law was followed, and if there was any abuse of the law, to report to the Congress and the public. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. I just, want to satisfy.
You're effed. That's what the guy said. So, guys, Q knew. All right. So, people that are saying this Q stuff, isn't, right on the money. I got to beg to differ with them. Look at what we've shown you with Assange. Look what we've shown you with Seth Rich. Look at this stuff, guys. It's absolutely insane of the stuff that's on this board. There's 3,311 posts. Go to intheMatrixxx.com/Q posts. Go ahead and do some searching. Remember, you can, if you wanted to look up posts, you can, do commas on the post numbers right here. Here's the post number. You want to do, 123, comma 2234, comma 142 or 1234. Let's do that one again, and then it'll come up in order. All right. Whoops. Warning. Webmaster Q is on it. He already saw it. Guarantee you. But check it out, guys. We've got some great stuff. The search filter here is amazing.
And this stuff that you're seeing with them investigating Barr, and you remember that Q says, how do you introduce evidence? We introduce it organically, we introduce it legally, we introduce it the right way. We put the stuff in, we put a case together in a way that is airtight. That's a word that's been forgotten from our justice system in the last little while. With this stuff and all these people having this little moment right now of, whoa, we want this, or we want that from Mr. Barr, and we give us this and give us that. They are gonna get it, Patriots. And trust me, you know what I mean whenever I say they are gonna get it. They're gonna get everything they ask for. We promise.
So here you go. This is Scott Adams asks who killed Q while tagging the treasurer for the MAGA coalition, Ginger McQueen, along with former members Seb Gorka and Jack Posobiec. Patriots and Anons, do not let them deflect. Attacks increasing. Context of drops mislabeled and used. These guys are trying to cover up a funding scam, guys. They're trying to cover their butts. Q,
and notice who he tagged in this post.
Yeah. There you go. And then look at this. There's the panic. Okay. Q's posting. Q's not dead. There's your proof. All right. So this was 4/10 Wednesday at 12:59. This was 4/9 11:08. So Q's like, hey, here you go. Not dead. All right. So this is the attacks increasing. Context of drops are mislabeled and used. Select orgs and journalists, controversial info, attempt, label, whole screen shooting, then writing articles or drops themselves they wrote. Highlight of a corrupt Pack. Deflect by pack equals point to former members as method to shield. We are being bombarded for a reason. Look for keywords to be repeated by many. Controller and control coordinated rollout. Fake news in full panic. Less than 10. So that's very interesting too, because if I go to Q posts here, let me just do less than 10. It takes us to another post, and I think there's going to be a lot because it's going to do. I forgot how to. I should have done the search with the pluses. Hang on, let me just. I know I'm scrolling, guys. Please bear with me. But there is a less than 10 post that kind of, I think, coincides with this fake MAGA coalition. And they're attacking relentlessly. They're doxing people that we know. They're lying. They're being very disrespectful to the boomer generation. And I think that's pretty amazing. So here's Q Post 2468. The Scaramucci play. Temp hire to remove embedded untrustworthy staffers. Spicer Priebus. Temps can be very dangerous to those who are targeted. Think Whitaker next week. Now, remember, we have a temp in the Homeland Security. So this is the Scaramucci play that they're doing. And we have a temp at the Secret Service now. So these are very dangerous to those who are targeted. So this is what we got to remain vigilant and looking at as well. So next week, White House optics must remain stable. Many did not leave by choice. Save face and promote MAGA or be exposed. Less than 10. Attacks occur from all directions. Logical thinking. So who is it promoting MAGA and who is now being exposed? Who did not save face? Interesting. So attacks occur from all directions. Logical thinking. Why attack a movement simply by design, asking people to think for themselves? Control equals power. Why are the biggest news companies in the world continuing to attack this movement? Why is the Washington Post leading the attacks? Why do attacks come in waves? Coordinated. You attack those who are the biggest threat. Swamp contains red and blue. Remember that, people. It's not just the
Both.
D's, okay?
Correct.
All right, and that's why I did this next tweet here. This is breaking. The fake MAGA and Never Trumpers have exposed themselves by attacking Q. If POTUS was concerned, he would address. Notice, we the people are voting for real Donald Trump, not Cruz or any other Never Trump that you put in front of us. That is all. No more BS, guys. It's done. We're not going to support any. I'm not going to support any other president than Donald Trump for our 2020 election. Period. The end. All right, and then here's Sebi Gorka, who resigned from Fox News and went to Sinclair because he's best friends with the CEO of Sinclair. Way to go, Sebi. Seb Gorka, former MAGA coalition, whose wife was part of the Never Trump Cruz campaign. He himself was in the UK Army, never given clearance, who bashed POTUS admin on the way out, wants to tell you about QAnon? All to cover up his funding scams? Game on. Game on.
So this can be easily tracked, everyone. Watch what's happening. Just pay attention to how this is escalating. What we have here, we have Q calling out MAGA coalition, Q calling out Mr. Gorka's wife. Then we have Mr. Gorka resigning or not renewing his contract with Fox News. Then we have him making an announcement that he's going to work for, quote, Sinclair Broadcasting. And the next thing you know, within just a week or so, what do we have here on April 10th but Mr. Gorka article, The Truth About QAnon? Well, remember, whenever we start to talk to you guys and tell you about some of these people, notice what they attack you on. They call you a cult. I want to explain something to you. They call you a cult. They say the QAnon is a cult. Well, I'm here to tell you that the mainstream media narrative is a cult, okay? That is what the cult is, because that is where someone is telling you what to think without proper information. Therefore, they are propagandizing the information. They're not telling you the truth. You go through this article here, it is absurd, some of the things that Mr. Gorka writes about here, but I understand that it's not accurate. But what I also understand is panic, and I'm seeing panic from all of these people. I think Mr. Gorka couldn't renew with Fox. I think he couldn't talk out about this stuff for whatever reason with Fox, and he had to get out of there so he could try to create his quote counter narrative. Okay, so it looks like they're putting Mr. Gorka right up there as a Q debunker for all the world to see.
Yep, and I can't see his tweets because he blocked me, Shady.
All
for a LARP, huh?
All for a LARP. I mean, what did you do? You were just talking about something that doesn't exist, and that got you blocked.
I was blocked back a long time ago before.
But you were talking about something that didn't exist.
I guess it's I'm
Q.
Right.
Q doesn't exist, so why block you?
I know. Good point. Good point.
I was using logic there. Sorry, I got caught
too much
up.
logic, Shady. I couldn't happen.
I apologize for that.
I want quickly. Stable genius. Q is right then. Q is right now. Q is right in the future. This is on going back. The one in the upper right hand corner says October 31st, 2017. One of the 15th post by Q, and their evil satanic POSs. Manafort was placed in the Trump's camp as well as others. The corruption that will come out is so serious that deals must be cut for people to walk away. Otherwise, 70% of elected politicians would be in jail. You are seeing it already begin. A deep cleaning is occurring, and the prevention of the defense of pure evil is occurring on a daily basis. They thought they were going to lose control of the presidency, not just D's, and thought that they had control since making past mistakes, JFK and Reagan. Godspeed, Patriots. P.S. Soros is targeted. So do not fall victim to MSM, other fake news, or false narrative pushes. Stay the course. Not seeking re-election. Look at all those Republicans on the left side not seeking re-election. And when Q says that these people are not seeking re-election, it's because they're put under submission and agreeing with them, essentially. So, with our president. So there's a lot of stuff going down right now. Stable Genius, you're absolutely amazing. Give Stable Genius a follow if you could. Also, replying to JA, obviously, we went over that post already. Let me just go back. Oh, I wanted to quickly show you something that a listener here could be here in our chat right now. Check this out.
In the Matrixxx.
I like how he says my name. So he's looking for a YouTube channel.
I can't even.
I'm trying to find it too.
2, 3. Oh, nothing's coming up. I search.
There I am.
That. In the Matrixxx. There's your channel.
There
right?
we are, Shady.
Oh, I make it to the channel. Okay, I go back.
And normally it saves the searches.
Where's in the Matrixxx? I just searched it. It should hold it. Why is that not coming up?
Is this
wow.
Is this a joke?
I cannot believe that Google is just trying to throttle the channel so much that I cannot actually get to it unless I type the entire thing in.
Pretty interesting. So, Song Babe, that was just sent in from a faithful listener, and I appreciate them very much. And also wanted to go over some other things for Julian Assange. If you recall, let's look at the DOJ today. This is the press release from the DOJ, and they attached this document. And I'm looking at it going, wow, okay, so what? It's Chelsea Manning, formerly known as Bradley Manning, intelligence analyst, top secret security clearance. Number 3 says Executive Order number 13526 and its predecessor orders to define the classification levels to classified information. Under the executive order, information may be classified as secret if its unauthorized disclosure reasonably could expect to cause serious damage to the national security. Further, under the executive order, classified information can generally be only disclosed to those persons who have been granted an appropriate level of United States government security clearance and possess a need to know the classified information in connection to their office. So I'm like, where have I seen those numbers before? Wow. So here is where I've seen the numbers before. 13526 adds up to the number 17, by the way. And section 17 of the executive order that our Q dropped to us says 2207. Let's read that one. It goes, example, Twitter Eric Holder status, Rep Swalwell status, abuse of power. Reminder, Hussein EO. Executive Order 13526, Section 17. Classification prohibits and limitations in no case shall be classified, continue to be maintained as classified, or fail to be classified in order to conceal violations of law, inefficiency, or administrative error. 2. Prevent embarrassment to a person, organize, or agency. 3. Restrain competition, or 4. Prevent or delay the release of information that does not require protection in the interest of national security. Sleep no more. The American people and others around the world are awakening. Panic? Game over. Q.
Wow. Just wow, man.
So then there's this post here. This is post number 2501. Let me just see. Let's go to 2177 first. So this is, again, he drops the same text for the executive order that adds up to the number 17, section 17. I'm sure that's a coincidence.
Absolute coincidence.
And actually, a year ago today, there was a Q post, 1 year delta with number 17. That's all it was, number 17Q. I'm sure that's a coincidence too. All right, so here we go. 2501, Q drops that post that we just read to you. Whitaker, in conjunction with OIG report release of Class Docs 1-4 as requested by the House Committee and as ordered by the President of the United States. Will the release occur prior to scheduled testimony? List advantages. Will the release occur post scheduled testimony? List advantages. If those testifying no, select class docs will become public, self-incrimination. How might that alter/change their testimony? DC has become rat-infested. Executive Order 13526. And then it goes down, and we will go to number 4. And then it says, we read this part already, so I'm going to skip that, and we're going to go to, does the UK stand with the US, or only select divisions with the US? Does Australia stand with the US, or only select divisions within the US? Will immediate actions be publicly taken within each country to reunify the bond that was once held prior to Classified 9 in Killbox, Koala, Q? Wow.
So much lining up right now. This is incredible.
I mean, this whole show is a Q proof.
It is. I mean, look at everything. Look at everything that's matching, guys. What this isn't even as much for red pilling as it is for your own sake, for your own understanding. Okay, this is all of you out there to understand what we're seeing happen. This has never been done before. No one has ever tried this before. With the modern world and modern technology, 7 billion people on the planet, there's a lot of pieces of this moving. So we're seeing so many of them line up now that you can rest assured that we're coming for them.
Who is the real Michael Avenatti?
CPL.
Seals are opened. Lawyer. CPO is creepy porn lawyer. I just got that.
Sorry.
So lawyer Avenatti charged in California with U.S. fraud and tax crimes, guys.
Quite a couple of years go along with this, I heard.
Yeah, I mean, 39 indictments are being unsealed.
Something like 330 years of worth of charges for this guy.
Yeah, amazing.
They came in. They showed up yesterday and confiscated his plane. He had a $5 million jet that he owned, and they took that away from him yesterday.
Where'd he get that?
Creepy porn lawyer enterprises.
Okay, so just a few hours ago today, this is March 29th. I'm sorry. Lindsey Graham says, I look forward to hearing from Attorney General Barr on May 1st. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Where have we heard that before? Mayday, mayday, mayday. Democracy matters. The will of the people. United, not divided. Where we go one, we go all. Q. I thought that was very interesting. Run the Race has a really good thread here about an Anon who had a personal account of how Q has affected his/her life and some of the other Anons responses. Running the race, very well done. Oh my gosh, I wasn't following running. So drop that in there, guys. Shady and I actually had a really nice one from Praying Medic. They DM Praying Medic saying after watching our show, they were atheist and actually worshipped. We read that on another show, but these are the kind of things that are absolutely, absolutely amazing, guys. People are starting to see the light. Okay. And then here is some other things here. I wanted to really quick just address something. I saw a very crappy hit piece on us, Shady, and they doxed somebody within our server, and it's not my server. It's somebody else's server. It's called Patriots United, and it's a great server. I'm a guest there, and I love it. And one of our own was actually doxed by these MAGA coalition people.
On YouTube.
On YouTube, okay. And they were talking so bad about boomers. And it's like, hey, Doug, or whatever his name is. What's that guy's name? That posts all the anti-Semitic stuff on the chans that we have proof of.
Isn't it Doug Stewart or something? I can't remember the name.
Doug Stewart. It's in the Neon Revolt article that we went over.
Correct. Yeah,
so
I can drop
Doug
that article.
Stewart was doing this whole interview with some other lame-o dude and taking screenshots, which Q told us about, screenshots, and making up stories and making up crap, which is exactly what they're doing. And, you know, I said, you know, I am a Generation X. My mom is a boomer, and she would beat me with a wooden spoon if I talk like this guy. You know, this guy talking. So I wanted to tell people and realize that us generation...
Well, especially in public.
in public. Us Generation X people, you know, in my opinion, we were the last generation to actually stand up and buck the system, if you will. They wanted to get us, Shady, but they didn't get us, in my opinion. Sammy Sam, truth will always stand together. Patriots, love one another. Great job, y'all. Love y'all. God bless. Share without moral cowardice. Matter of a fact to help people wake up in love. It is all about love. It is. Thank you, Sammy Sam. Much love to you. And I wanted to just let you know that I don't think people really understand what the American dream is. And we're going to have another kind of show about this later. But I wanted to play this short clip. The boomers can teach... The boomers can teach people attacking QAnon and POTUS some things. They remember what America is really about. These people attacking the American dream, the attackers, are without a doubt a member of the worst generation ever, period. And let's take a look at this from the newsroom. Ready? Here we go.
One day, there's some things you should know, and one of them is there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
This is awesome right here. Ready?
Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. A America is not the greatest country in the world anymore.
It is now, and we're going to keep it that way, and we're going to make America great again, and we're going to keep making America great again. And that is the message. For these people to attack people on their age and the disrespect for people that they have is absolutely appalling, guys. All to protect their scams, their money laundering, their scams, guys.
That's a great clip, bud.
Thank you. And I hope you guys all enjoyed that. Look, we're fighting for this for our country to probably have it the first time ever. And there are people that are older than me that know a lot more than me. My grandfather, God rest his soul, he didn't like the IRS and taxes because he knew he didn't have to pay for them. Why don't we take what people know already and go on it, and instead of thinking that we know everything, and for somebody to be doxxed because they want to actually cover the QAnon movement and try to fund themselves is absolutely American. That is the American dream, to do what you want to do and be happy doing it. If there's no market, it won't happen. You know, it'll just shrivel up and go away. So keep bringing the attention to Q, MAGA Coalition and friends. Keep doing it because it's only getting bigger. And the Q proofs that we showed you today should really open some of your eyes, guys, if you are not already open. And I know I'm probably preaching to the choir here, Shady. Do you want to go ahead and let me know what you say? And then how about do you want to take some calls? Just take a few calls too after we'll get ready.
I've got someone on the line right now. You want to bring somebody in here?
All right, so let's just say 610 Q Lounge. That's 610-756-8643. Give us a call and let us know what you're thinking.
Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hey.
Hello?
We got you. Hello.
You got me?
Oh, hey. It's great to be able to talk to you again. I spoke to you a few days ago. And a couple of the questions I have, I know you said that when everything comes down, it'll take about 70% of the government with it. And I don't see a problem with taking 70% of the deep state. Why can't we just hold special elections then and bring in some actual honest people? I think that would be much better than keeping 30-40% of criminals in there and trying to keep close tabs on them then for the rest of the time.
Yep.
And my other question or other thought is about the IRS. I actually have seen some time ago a gentleman who questioned the Internal Revenue Service and about paying taxes. And he flat out said he was not going to pay his taxes because he was not going to send taxes in to an entity that supported abortions, and especially late-term abortions and so forth. And he won the case. They completely just let it go. He did not have to pay his taxes. So I think if we all got together and just said, hey, we are not doing it, period, there's not anything they can do about it because it's an illegal system anyway. So I just think that ought to be brought out, and everybody ought to, speak up to POTUS about it because, he plans on breaking down the IRS anyway, bringing them down. So I think we ought to get that started as well. I mean, let's get it all going. Let's just wipe all this stuff out and start with a whole clean slate.
Absolutely. Yeah, we agree with that 100%. And
that's all that I have for today, gentlemen. Love your show. I can't wait for it every day. I always learn something new. I am so grateful that you guys are out there, and
thank you.
I just pray to God that He keeps giving you, all the info, all the time you need to dig it up for us, because I have a brain tumor. I've had brain surgery. I can't, I have trouble working through through the information on the computer. So I rely on people like you and Praying Medic and I can't think of the other one. That's the other problem I have is I have memory lapses. But I rely on the people like you who do such great work to get the information that I can then look at and really, get the information that I need. And so you are such a blessing to me. And I just praise God for you and for POTUS and for the other Patriots on here that send in the information. So thank you so very much.
Thank you for
and,
that.
I'll let you get.
Thank you so much for that, caller. We're definitely talking about those issues, and we're talking about the IRS, and we're talking about, you made the comment of 70% of the government. Let's be realistic here. When the Constitution was written, there were three main things that we were supposed to do. We were supposed to deliver the mail, we're supposed to maintain a military, and provide funding for an education system. Those things have gotten a little bit out of control, and the way that they have done that is under the UCC code of commercial goods and services and commerce. So they get you to admit that you are trafficking in commerce, and by that I mean you are telling the government every year you are a corporate entity, and therefore you are tracking in commerce, and therefore you are subjugated to the IRS, and the IRS is the enforcement tool of the Fed. So yes, that's our target.
And people don't realize that our history, that paying taxes is voluntary. And here's Harry Reid.
I don't accept your phraseology. I don't think we force people.
Taxation is not forceful?
Well, no.
It's voluntary?
In fact, quite to the contrary. Our system of government is a voluntary tax system.
Oh, if you don't want to pay your taxes, you don't have to?
Oh, of course you have to pay your taxes. But
well, the government will force you to pay, or they'll fine you or imprison you.
We have a voluntary system. The fact of the matter is that if when you pay your taxes, see, in many other countries it's not voluntary. For example, in many countries, the government makes sure that your employer takes out every penny. In many countries don't file income tax returns.
We have withholding here too, don't we?
Pardon me?
Withholding.
Yeah, so just interesting, man, guys. We don't know anything.
Well, maybe if I could just throw in a little bit of info to you guys. Notice this. Notice the subtleties of what you're doing, okay? You receive a form from your employer every year. And on that form, there is a section there, and it says wages, tips, etc. Okay? That's what it says. Whenever you go and you take a form that you file to fill out for the IRS, what does that box say? Does it say wages, tips, etc., or does it say income? Okay, income is the key word here. The definition, the word income, is a corporate profit. Therefore, if you do not earn a corporate profit, you are not subject to the tax, guys. We've been tricked. If you do not live in Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, or Guam, you are actually not obligated to this tax system. And there's a lot of information out there that will verify what I'm saying to you guys. The IRS is illegal. The Federal Reserve is illegal. It goes against our Constitution. No one stood up and stopped it. And that's what you guys are doing. That's what we are doing. That is this mission, to stop it. They're choking us. They're stealing from you. It is a worldwide Ponzi scheme, and we're trying to expose it.
Yep, and it will. Gold will end this whole thing, guys. I mean,
you ready for another one, Matrixxx?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the Matrixxx Groove Hour.
Hello, am I live?
Yes, can you hear us?
Holy smokes, I can hear you, Matrixxx. This is Brina Just B, according to Twatter. You can call me Sabrina.
Hey,
from
Sabrina.
Texas.
Welcome to the Q Lounge.
Hi.
Hey, Sabrina.
Q Lounge and Matrixxx Groove Hour. I almost said Q Lounge Live. Welcome. What you got?
I know. Okay, so first of all, holy smokes. I mean, I'm so excited. This is so beyond glorious what y'all are doing, what God is doing through y'all. Y'all are absolutely doing the Lord's work. And I swear on my life, he has put you and Shady, y'all were made for each other. It's beyond amazing. I can't hear Shady right now. I can hear you, Matrixx, but it just blows my mind how much y'all have accomplished, how asleep I was a year ago and how awake I am. And y'all are just, I mean, God is so good and he's doing amazing things through all of us. First of all, I just have to say that. So
amen to that.
It's
Thank
amazing.
you for that. Thank you for those kind words. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. And on the subject of y'all's voices, first of all, when I first started listening to y'all, thanks to Praying Medic, I found y'all through Praying Medic, but when I was listening to y'all's show, in the beginning, I couldn't tell a difference between y'all's voices. Y'all sounded the same, but now, I mean, y'all have the most distinct voices, literally and figuratively. So anybody who wants to try to duplicate that, they're just chills, because anybody who listens to y'all knows and loves y'all. So
thank you for that. Yeah, we had a Discord group go ahead and dig on those videos that they said was me, and they've got the forensic proof actually showing that it's not me. So, you know, they're just gonna throw, you know, arrows and slings at the messengers of Q, like Praying Medic, myself, iPod, you know, Shady, just all of us. Jordan say that they don't want us talking about it, and I don't understand why.
No, I know. And you know what? We don't need forensic proof. I mean, we've got the truth in our hearts, and we got it with y'all.
Well,
so I
thank you
appreciate
for
that.
Thank you. And are you on the
okay.
QSN? Are you on the Q Army social network as well?
Absolutely, I am. Brina
Awesome.
Just Be. I sure am.
Thank
and before I get to my questions, I have to tell you, I'm dying for your baseball hat, and I can't quit Q T-shirt. I can't quit Q. I need that on a shirt and a baseball hat.
I can't quit Q. I like it. I love it. Thank you.
I mean, it's the truth. I can't quit. So here are some things that, on a serious note, a couple Q drops that have just been weighing on my mind and my heart. And since I've started following Q last June, about a year ago almost, I just cannot get these few drops out of my head. And so I'm going to lay them out, give you my thoughts, and then I really want y'all's thoughts. But the first and the most simplest one is when Q says, "You'll never believe who's talking to you." I want to know if you think it'll be revealed. And then the second thing is when Q says the end won't be for everyone and the choice to know will be yours. I have a couple of thoughts on that. And also, some things can't be revealed for humanity's sake. So when I hear the end won't be for everyone and the choice to know will be yours, I'm thinking multiple things. I'm thinking, well, the choice to know will be mine, because there are some rabbit holes I just can't go down. The satanic stuff, I mean, I want to know it's all there, but I just need to protect myself. And so I'm wondering if some of the things that will not be revealed for humanity's sake is to protect us, if that's some of the satanic stuff, or for riots, or protecting the Republic, or stuff that Anons aren't even aware of yet. And the end won't be for everyone. I'm wondering if y'all really think Hillary's going to go out in shackles, or I think she's going to take herself out. I don't think she'll go down alive. And so I'd just like to get y'all's thoughts on those two drops, because I know there's double meanings to everything, but some of those, that they just really weigh on me. The end won't be for everyone. The choice to know will be yours. Some things can't be revealed for humanity's sake. I mean, those are just some things that I can't get out of my head, and I want to know y'all's thoughts.
Yeah, and she's talking about Q Post 749, and it says, controlling the crops, and it says, controlling the crops, control the people, sheep might be reaching, but throwing it out there. And Q says, coincidence, the Matrixxx movie. Grew people as a crop, used for energy, and controlled their mind. Sound familiar? Wonder where they derived that idea from. Now comes the conspiracy label. Deeper we go, the more unrealistic it all becomes. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Q. Now, that is basically showing that it is not for everyone, just like you said. Some people can't handle this, the ritualistic abuse that they do with children, the mind control, the sex slaves, the stuff that really, wrap the armor of God around you, when you're talking and looking into this stuff. But it is something that it is not for everyone. Not everyone is going to like it. And we're going to have people that are hurt and scared, and we're going to need to be there for them. There's a lot of people that are traumatized as well, and they're going to need help. And Q said that 95% of the people could end up in the hospital. Also says that 6% won't make it. Right now, people can't deal with it because they're dealing with their lives maybe, and they haven't really heard of Q yet. They're not seeing all the different similarities that we're all seeing. I mean, we've been through all of these Q drops, whereas your brother or your sister or your aunt or your uncle or your friends have not yet. So that's what we're going to be there for. And the end isn't for everyone, because nobody, I mean, it does become very unrealistic. And, that was a nervous laugh, not a laugh like it's funny. This is some serious stuff. And as far as who we're speaking to, I don't know if it will ever be revealed. And I don't know if it really, I don't know if it really matters, because this is all questions that we, Anons and Patriots alike, are all digging on, and then we find the answers, and it's all in a repository on the 8chan board. Nobody wants, the mainstream media does not want you to go see this YouTube channel. The mainstream media doesn't want you to go see my Twitter account. They don't want you to go to 8chan, because they don't want to go to 8chan, because then they have to prove all the facts that we've dug on them as well. Shady, do you have any... did I leave something out, or do you have anything to add?
No,
Shady?
I think you hit that pretty well, and I would like to I would like to agree with you. I think that the depravity and the absolute just disgusting nature of some of the things that we're talking about are going to be revealed, yes, and they are going to be seen. What are they all going to be revealed and seen? I think no, but I also think that you guys, people who are interested, people who want to know, people who want to dig, people who say, I want to investigate further, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be able to go as far down the rabbit hole as you want to, and that is freedom. Matrixxx was referring to that too. That is a freedom for you to be able to discern for yourself and decide. And like the caller said, I would like to emphasize that as much as possible, that Q is very clear. We are not leading you to information you don't want to hear. We are leading you to information that you can absorb. And if the information is too much for you, if it becomes emotional, if you become emotional on either side of the spectrum, if it makes you extremely scared or if it makes you extremely happy, okay, both of those things need reining into the middle. And that's what we're learning to do, is we're learning to rein in our emotional realities and be logical and think logically. That's why what you're being yelled at and blamed at and accused of is so ridiculous, this idea that you're a cult, because a cult, that per definition, are organizations that force you to believe what they think. In other words, don't believe what you already think. Don't consider the people that are already in your life, your parents, your family, your friends. Don't listen to anything they ever said to you. Forget all of that and come over here and listen to us. That is not what Q is doing. We are not forcing anyone to think anything. What we are doing is we are asking people to think for themselves. Within that, you have a limit. We all have a limit. I know Matrixxx has a limit, and I know I have a limit to what I can take, what I can see, and what I can filter. But at the same time, we're also given tools, really good tools of discernment and tools of placing things where they go and not being emotional with it and not letting things scar us. Recognize that over emotional reactions are scar tissue, okay? PTSD, things like that, scar tissue. Imagine scar tissue. If you cut your arm, you have scar tissue that's left there. Your emotional reality works the same way, guys. So make sure, please, for me, think and double think. What can I take? What can I handle? Is this making me emotional that is unhealthy or out of balance? Bring yourself back to balance. Meditate within yourself. Ask yourself, do I want to know more? If the answer is yes, continue. If the answer is no, please feel free to stop looking. No one is forcing you to this information. How's that, Matrixxx?
That's really good. And I'd like to just read this to you. It's May 10th, 2018. Fellow Patriots, what you are about to learn should not only scare you, but intensify your resolve to take back control. Freedom. The information that will become public will further demonstrate the criminal and corrupt, pure evil, abuse of power that the Hussein administration undertook in joint efforts with domestic and foreign dignitaries. The snowball has begun rolling. There is no stopping it now. D5. Stay the course and trust the plan. Protective measures are in place. Remain brave. We knew this day would come. United we stand, worldwide. Where we go one, we go all. We fight conspiracy. No more. Q.
Good one. I'm glad you pulled that up. Very good.
Yep.
That is really, really good. So we do have some more callers on the line, Matrixxx. I just now noticed that my connection to the incoming line isn't up. It dropped out,
Okay.
so they can only hear you, but that's fine. I'm gonna throw a caller at you. You ready?
Okay, we're doing it live. Hello,
Here they come. Look out.
Hello, caller. How are you? Welcome to the Matrixxx Groove Show.
Hi, Matrixxx. How are you?
I'm awesome. I recognize this voice, don't I?
I don't know that you've ever spoke to me in person, but probably online.
Okay.
I just want to commend you guys for the fantastic job that you are doing, and I praise Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, for giving you the guidance and the wisdom to discern the different information that Q's providing to everyone. And I just want to say keep up the great work. And I'd like to put a shout out to the caller you had earlier with the brain tumor. Let's all give that woman some prayers for healing. And she's a fellow patriot and a sister in Christ, and let's keep her lifted up. And where we go one, we go all.
Amen. Thank you very much. That's very thoughtful. And we should, prayers for all the patriots fighting in this battle. Make sure you have that armor of God on for sure. And I want to, my mom was awesome. I went over to her house last night and she gave me this really cool picture of love is patient, love is kind. I'm going to have it right here on my wall.
Corinthians.
Yes.
It's Corinthians 13.
Yes, and a Q has dropped that as well, along with the armor of God. So I really find, very special to me. Thank you to my mama Matrixxx. What do you got today?
Amen. And well, it's tax time, and I'm a boomer, and I'm sick of owing every year. We're not in the high tax bracket, but they sure do drain our pockets every year. And of course, I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I pay my taxes, but I highly resent this funding being used for these abortions and all these corrupt things that are going on. And I'm really hopeful that our President Trump, and I keep him and his family lifted in prayers for protection. And I'm really hopeful that he's going to bring about some change, because the middle class, we're being wiped out. And, as we struggle to try and pull it all together, and once again, I have to make a payment plan to the IRS, and sooner pay it off, and it's tax time again, and you can't retire, and you just can't feel good about some of these things that your tax dollars are being used for. It would be fine if it was used for humanitarian purposes, for the good, not to destroy infants.
Yes, of course.
That's where I have a problem. So don't have a problem paying my fair share. Have a problem with destroying life. And so I'm sure you have many callers holding. I just want to say God bless you. God bless all the wonderful patriots out there. I follow so many of them, and looking forward to seeing JFK Jr. come on stage, I should say, and so looking for the hope and the change, and to God be all the glory.
Absolutely. Amen. Thank you for your call. I really appreciate it.
Thank.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for the call. Matrixx, you want to take another one?
Yeah, let's just take a quick break because I think we need a little bit of pep in our step. Those were some amazing calls.
Let's do it.
We've got, as we were looking, I was showing you the post for Planned Parenthood. It is in the plan. We have seen Texas revolt against Planned Parenthood, another state as well. It's happening, guys. It's happening, and it's on the radar for our president of the United States of America. So in regards to the IRS and this tax stuff and the destroying of the middle class, yes, but no more. We're going to take our country back. And once we get rid of this big con, which the biggest part of this con is the monetary system. JT Wild, where we go one, we go all.
And we love the name. Got the bodies in the dirt, needing someone to blame. A batch of greed and money to spare. They put the dollars in the coffers and the lies in the air. Well, we go one, we go all. I won't push you down, you won't let me fall. One day for sure we will stand tall. Where we go one, we go all. Trust the plan because we have it all, and that fate is in our hands. Had a reason to fool us, but we didn't take the bait. Wanna take us to hell, but we got guns at the gate. Well, we go one, we go all. I won't push you down, you won't let me fall. One day for sure we will stand tall. Where we go one.
That is the JT Wild, where we go one, we go all. Oh, I love that song. And there you go. That's JT Wild. I don't know if you're following him on Twitter yet. Get over there on YouTube. Subscribe to him. He does shows most every day. And when he sees people in there, I jumped in there the other night and he played Where We Go One, We Go All for me. And there's JT's Twitter right there. He's also,
that song will get you fired up.
Yeah, he's also As the Q Turns as well. So I think JT's out there. Say hello, JT out there. Much love to you, brother. So get over to JT. He's amazing. Also, guys, just don't forget to help us out while we're trying to figure this out. We do have a Teespring store with some T-shirts. I think we just got, what is it? I Can't Quit Q might be coming up design. I'm going to try to figure something out with that. We've just got your regular Q. We've got intheMatrixx.com Q Army one. Q sent me another Q Army one. This new one right here is being a bestseller, and it's in all different sizes, shapes, and forms. Hoodies, men's, women's. We've got coffee cups for your kafefe. Because, the best part of waking up is Hillary's not your president. And we've got some stickers as well.
That did not rhyme.
That did not rhyme? Well, it's the new marketing thing. You don't.
But it is the best part of waking up.
It is, right?
It really is. And when I do count my blessings every day, it's like you wake up in the morning like, wow.
Every day.
My president. Woo!
And you know what? Again, Shady and I have mentioned this many times. A lot of Patriot Soapbox people here. Thank you guys very much for coming over. I love the Patriot Soapbox. Shady was on there yesterday with Coach Clay and I-70. And,
that was an awesome time I had last night with those guys.
Yeah, and I was there the week before. So, wow, they've been very generous. This is our Patreon. If you want to go ahead and buy us a cup of kafefe every month, or just a one time, it's okay to do that too. We've got 222. I'm very blessed and honored. We have the Bill Mitchell show. We've been on several different shows around the Twitterverse or the universe here. What shows have we been on, Shady? Man, we've been on Caravan to Midnight.
We have been on Caravan to Midnight with John B. Wells. We need to get the link for that out to you guys. We've actually done that twice. We've been on with Jimmy Church on Fade to Black. We've been on Tori Says 2 times. We have we've been on Your Voice America with Bill Mitchell. We've also been on The Steel Truth with Ann Vandersteel.
Yes.
And there's more. I can't think of the rest of them. There's more though.
And Bill.
What am I missing?
I don't know. Bill called me today. He wants me to maybe come on this afternoon to talk about some Assange stuff. We also have the PayPal as well. I mean, guys, hopefully we can find some way to sponsor all this so we don't have to rely on donations. We've got the Super Chat too. I hate begging. We're trying to work some things out, but we've got an amazing website. Here's intheMatrixx.com. So not only are we just, bringing you YouTube content, we're doing something for you to bring us together as a community as well. There's 1,000 people online right now. We've got the Q posts. We've got the Q Army social network. If I do get kicked off of Twitter, we've got, we'll be here. We've got Trump tweets. We've got Matrixxx tweets, Grooove tweets. We've got the Q Army News Network with Twitter feeds and YouTube feeds of all Patriots. This is the Q Army social network right here. It's intheMatrixx.com/QSN. QSN, if you will. Come check us out. There's a lot of great stuff being posted in here. And we're thankful to all the users right now. Thank you guys very much for supporting us. Thank you, YouTube. Shady, what you got? Looks like there's.
I was just wanting to say thanks for all the people who called in today, and please, we're going to be doing this very often. This is fun. I love the call in, so thank you guys for calling us and talking to us. And this is what's going on, guys. This is how this is going to roll. We're going to be here. We're going to be taking it apart. You're going to be calling in and suggesting things, and we're going to talk back to you in real time and take into consideration what you're saying and bring your voice to this conversation. That is what this is about, and that's what's so much fun about it. So thanks so much, guys, for coming around and joining us today on the Matrixxx Groove Hour. And get over there on the QSN and hit us up.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Shady. And we're going to take us out. We got Trinity here. Robert, thank you very much. Where we go one, we go all, sir. Thank you. The narrative has you. Don't let it have you. We need, yes, my name is intheMatrixxx with 3 X's, at intheMatrixxx with 3 X's on Twitter, intheMatrixxx with 3X's.com. But I want to get out of this matrix, guys. This needs to be done. We need to come back and get out of this matrix, get our country back. And with that, we're going to take you out of this matrix. And you know what? It doesn't feel good sometimes, guys. So hang on. intheMatrixxx with 3X's.com. Check out our Q Army social network. Check out our Teespring t-shirt store. PayPal, Patreon, thank you. Donations are freedom. Nothing is behind a paywall. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Much love, guys. Peace.